on an e-bike and was last seen in Central Park on Center Drive early this morning.
On an e-bike. What does that manhunt look like then? Let's speak to US former Secret Service agent Barry Donadio. Barry, really good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. So in one sense, this gunman had quite a bit of intelligence about the CEO's movements, Brian Thompson's movements, but then on the other hand, he doesn't seem to have planned his getaway very well.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and my condolences to the victim's family. To me, this does look like an assassination, and he did have a planned way out. He waited for the victim to appear where he thought he would appear, and he used a spot to go through an alley that actually goes through a building, and then went on an e-bike to go to Central Park. Now, I think this was planned because Central Park just simply has less video cameras. And that bag that he's wearing on his back probably contains maybe another weapon, along with clothing that he can change out of in Central Park, maybe in the woods where nobody can see him on video, and then come out at another place where he may have already preconditioned or pre-looked where to find that he can leave without being on video. So I believe he did plan the escape, very well planned out, and we may see him on surveillance video maybe earlier in the day planning this assassination out, or even the day before, and I'm sure NYPD is looking at all of that right now.
Well, yeah, they say they're doing something called a video canvas. What is that?
Well, the video canvas, they are literally going to look at every single video that would have captured this man's escape route, and then some. Some of it would be New York City, even traffic light cameras, anything that the city government would have on telephone poles, light poles, along with commercial cameras. You know, there are banks with very good cameras in the area that I'm sure that they're going to see him on. It's going to take time to figure that out, especially once he bled into Central Park. That's many city blocks from north to south that he could have come out on. He could still be even hunkered down in the park. I'm sure there's a massive manhunt in the park itself with the city park rangers doing a canvas inside of there, looking for him, massive search. But they're looking at every video possible that they could pick up yet another trace of where he may have gone from Central Park.
Can we talk about the weapon and what that tells you as an expert? I mean, it appears to have malfunctioned, but then he got it to work. He shot the victim more than once in the back. Is there something from the shell casings, from the silencer that was on the weapon that tells you something about him?
Yes, it tells me that probably he may have even made that silencer himself. He knew that that gun would only shoot once at a time, but that is a semi-automatic gun. It's supposed to shoot every time you pull the trigger, I should say. So it looks like he practiced doing this. I don't think he's a trained assassin. I don't think he's a former police officer or a former member of the military or any kind of a trained assassin. I think he did his homework. I think he knows how to use a gun, but he basically picked a gun that misfires every time you pull the trigger. He knew that. He cycles the weapon after every shot. I've watched the video a couple of times, and I've noticed that the gun didn't fire even after cycling it. So he seemed to practice it and have kind of a bad setup on a gun that really doesn't work with the silencer attached to it. But he seemed to be very determined in his mission and getting that done. Now, I don't think anybody else even knew what happened other than the one witness that you see in the video on the right, because he effectively silenced the weapon. So even the people that are sitting in the cars next to where he's shooting may not even have heard or even known what was going on.
So clearly, to go to those lengths, it's someone with a grievance. Presumably then, as an investigator, you'd be looking back at any emails that have been sent, anybody that had previously issued threats towards Brian Thompson.
Absolutely. There's going to be warrants issued for everything. Cell phone, I even have heard reports that they found a cell phone from the assailant himself. Obviously, there's going to be a search warrant to rip all the data off of that, all the data from the victim. I know that NYPD is looking to serve a search warrant for entering Mr. Thompson's room at his hotel. So there's going to be more to come. I'm pretty confident at this point, just based on what I'm hearing and what I've seen already, that NYPD probably already knows who this person is. And it's just a matter of tracing it all together to have enough to make an arrest. And, this person could still be on the run and they don't know where he is. But I think they probably have a pretty good idea who this person is by now.
Extraordinary events in Manhattan today. Barry Donadio, thank you.